This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. Speaking of Chris Carson, week 1 he had 7 carries, 6 in week 2, and Pete Carroll says he's gassed in that Monday night game after playing on special teams. Well, then he comes back on week 3, carries the ball 32 times, CD.
Yeah, for 102 yards and a touchdown. So my guess, he didn't play much on special teams against Dallas. They made sure he just carried the football. And first-round pick Rashad Penny only got 3 carries. But here's why Chris Carson became the lead guy. Physical, physical, physical. He's going to pound it inside the tackles. He's going to make defenses have to tackle him over and over. And after a while, you don't want to hit that guy anymore. And he wore down the Dallas defensive front and allowed Seattle to make some extra plays.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Taylor Gabriel. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take. Take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's brought in by Kevin White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He hits White, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now Trubisky in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll toss it out to Carson. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Hurry, hurry.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Here's Trubisky to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
14.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon on for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll run it now out of the gun. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a 1st down?
Well, that's the deal on 3rd down. These guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable 3rd down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those plays.
Now it's Trubisky. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Got it. 14.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Check. 14, got it.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now it's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He completes it right side to White. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Parkey's kick is good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Trubisky. Looking for White on the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Trubisky now to throw on third down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. Trubisky now 9 of 17 through the air.
You see it, you see it. Shut up.
Now Trubisky to throw. Finding room to the 20. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, 34 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. They go play action here on 1st down. Jonathan Bullard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend.
And the pressure gets to him again. Jonathan Bullard in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They're going to try and throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Marshall, the intended receiver, thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson down around his goal line. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.